We've got to keep on training, so we're here again. We're going to be doing some tactics. Basically, we're going to have 5 minutes, and it's going to be timed. And in that 5 minutes, you have to try and be quick to solve as many of these puzzles as you can. My best outcome ever has been 29 in 5 minutes. Let's see if I can do better this time. Ready, set, go. Also, you need to be accurate. All right, so what are we going to do here? We've been checked. I think this is the most appropriate response. If he takes, we take back again. We could also just take, could we not? Yeah, let's just take. That's a free piece. Now, here we can take. That looks like a mate in 2 after we take the queen. Here we can take. That's mate. So they start pretty easy generally. Black to move. So we've got this check. Is that not a mate? I think that's a mate as well. Now, black to move. That's mate. A nice pattern. This one also is a mate. That's a mate. So we're getting a few runs on the board quickly. This check is not mate, but once we get the queen, it will be. So I think that's fine. Or he comes back, check, and then we'll get the queen next. We can obviously take this. What else have we got here? We've also got checkmate, so why not do that? Here we've got checkmate. Here we've got, yeah, check, and when he takes mate. Here, again, this just looks like checkmate. There's a lot of easy ones to start off with here. This almost is mate, but he can bring the other rook back. We can then go check, he takes, we go check. He has to come back here. That's slightly tricky. This, he comes here, we can take, and when he comes here, we can go here. That's going to be mate. So check, check, and check, mate. He's attacking the bishop. The bishop can come here, and we're going to win the rook after it. That seems like the best idea. There is also a check available. If he does this, we take. But if he brings the bishop out, attacking our queen, then it's a bit annoying. So I think we just take this. Here we can check and then take this. So that looks really good. Here there's a checkmate. Here there is, well, we can take this to start. We can also just take with our king. He goes check. We come here. Why not just this? He goes check. We come here. He has to move that away. Taking a long time on this one. It's an important one. What's the difference between taking and taking? I think this is slightly more solid. It's wrong. Somehow that was wrong, hey? So this probably is nice. He has to take with the king if he wants to take it all. Then we can check him again. That king has to move away from the queen or step into alignment with it. So that's going to be the move. He moves away, so we'll give a check. And we're going to win that rook as well. Here we've got this, and then we can get a queen. So got to be slightly careful because he can get a queen too. We could just get a queen straight away if he gets this. So hang on. Check, he takes queen, queen. But then we come here. We skewer him and we win his queen. So still 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the timer. Let me show that to you. Now, in this position, that's mate. Here we've got the option of playing a check, but he's guarding everything really nicely. We can play this check as well. He's forced to take. We're hitting this. But there has to be something better here, right? We can come here, which threatens this. How does he stop that? He can come back. Then there's this. Then there's that. Then there's this. This one seems a bit tough to me. So check, he takes in a variety of ways. check immediately. Could be good. And when he comes here, ooh, then there's a fork. Yeah, I like that. All right, 20 seconds left. We can come here with a check that forces him here, and then there's a double check to finish him. Unless he comes there, we can come here, check, double check. All right, 2 seconds left. I didn't see it, but we got 21. We got one of them wrong, so let's go back and look at this one that we got wrong. Then we can do the same thing again, but we're only going to have the 3-minute challenge. So here, I really wasn't sure. I really wasn't sure what the difference is between taking and taking. I thought take like this would be fine, but apparently not. You have to take like this, and then after the check, you move back. But can we analyze it? That's what I want to do. I want to analyze the position with the help of the computer, or just the ability to move pieces around on the board. So he moves. If I take like this, what does he do? Is he going to go check? Well, then I come here. Apparently it's a draw because of rook c3. But can't I then just defend this? Now he goes apparently king c2, keeping my king out of the way. What do I do here? I have to maybe play something like this. And then what does he do? Well, I'm not sure, but the point is it's very locked up. My king's out of play. In comparison, if I take with my king, there's no check this way. And as we saw, if he gives this check, I can then just come back. There's, again, no further checks. So things are just a bit more free here for me, I suppose. And obviously piece mobility matters a lot. All right, so let's go back now. And do a 3-minute puzzle challenge on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. My biggest ever here is 19, so let's see what we can do about that. Oh no, it won't let me do further because I'm not a member of chess.com yet. So in that case, we'll go over to Lichess, and we will do a puzzle streak. Let's now do a puzzle streak. All right. So there's a checkmate right there, so I'll do that. Here we've been checked. We've got 2 options. This one puts pressure on the knight, so it's the first one that you consider, really. This knight doesn't have any way to save itself except running away, and at that point we're threatening the queen. So if the queen moves, we can take the knight. Okay, he can run away, we take. Still threatening the queen. Here we have the ability to take a queen. If he takes back, we have a passed pawn, and this passed pawn is already outside of the square of the king, which means, or I should say the king is outside of the square of the passed pawn. So therefore this is a guaranteed win, because it's going to become a queen before he can get to us. Here we've got a check. We've got a check, we've got a check, we've got a check. We've got lots of different checks to consider. But this one is the most sensible because we're guarded by the knight. We force him this way, and then we can play this check with the knight, and that's mate. Always good to deliver mate. There's a check here, which checks the king and also uncovers an attack on the queen. The queen can't take us because we take with the pawn, so I'll do that. Here we can play check. I didn't even calculate it because it just looks so good. It's always a dangerous thing to do though. And here we can take that. This we can also take, but it's a bit dangerous, but we got away with it. Here we can give a check. The king is cut off from the diagonal, so he could only come back this way. But if he does come back this way, then we continue on with this check, which is not only mate, but if it wasn't mate, we would win the queen. So after check, he's actually forced to take. Then we can bring the queen in with check, and it's the same problem. He's going to get mated. So this is a mate in a few. And you see I made a mistake because I didn't calculate what happens if the rook comes across. So I'm not happy with that. I don't count that as a victory. Luckily, there is still this check. And that was going to be a mate anyway. So yeah, you got to be careful. Overlooking things is not good. Here we've got a check, and that wins a knight, so I'm happy to do that. Here we have a check which wins a bishop, so in principle I'm happy to do that. How do I want to do that, though, is the question. Which of these two pieces shall I use? The queen is probably the more dangerous piece to use, so if we start with a check here, we're pushing him down somewhere. If we push him here, we can follow up with this check, which would be mate. That's the beauty of using the queen. So check, he comes here, it's mate. And those are really the only options. Now we've got a check and then win the rooks, so that's a nice easy one. He's attacking the bishop. We've got various options here. One is we can take this rook. If he takes back, we can play check and then win this exchange. I like that. In fact, it's a full rook that we win. Now here we can pin this queen so it doesn't go anywhere except into our own rook and be taken. Here we can not take this because of this, but that does bring up the possibility, doesn't it, of what if we take this? Because if you take with the queen, I take a rook with check, forcing the queen back, take the queen again, or maybe you bring the knight here and then I save my bishop. But either way, I've won an exchange after this, more than an exchange, so that would be fine. If you take with the king, then there's this check. You come back though, so I'm not too sure about that. Could save the bishop like this. What else could we do? There's this check. I guess if you want to consider all checks, you got to be considering all checks. There's also this. This move is actually quite a nice one. That's a very nice move. Because we're attacking his queen. If he takes with the queen, we take the rook. Check. And then we can save this, having won an exchange. If he takes with the knight, well, we take the queen. So I think that's going to be the move. And I'm wrong. So it actually was the first move that I came up with. That only lasted about 3 minutes. We got 12 in, so we got the 3-minute challenge in the end, but inaccuracies abound. To finish off this particular session, let's just have a quick look here. So what would he do if we play this move? I guess he moves the queen. Now he's attacking this and this, and we're in trouble. We could probably at this point still have to take this. Because again, if he takes here, we've got this check. Although at this point, he can take there. We go check. So I think this would be the response. There's actually a variety of responses, including actually taking, giving up the rook. Because although you give the rook up, that's true. You've won a bishop. You've got the queen sort of in a not the best position. It actually says white's still better here. So but that's a typical sort of me move. You know, in this position, white is plus 3.7. And after, you know, this is the way to keep the advantage. You attack the queen directly. Queen can't just move away, it has to take. And then you take the rook. So why I didn't do that, I don't know. I think the reason I didn't do it was because of what if he takes with the king, which is a stupid fear, a very stupid fear. There's a lot of ways to deal with this. One of them would probably be rook d1, although it says that's just even. The only real way to keep the advantage is coming here, threatening the bishop, and then this check's going to come even stronger because he won't be able to jump the knight out of the way. So for instance, after this, now you bring the check in and you're just absolutely dominating. But regardless, the move I made, which is very typical of me, is a move which still, it gives away the advantage, but it's not like it's losing. It's all zeros according to the computer. So that's the thing, like, sometimes I just don't find the way forward, and I can find, a way to maintain equality. But hopefully with a bit more care and a bit more time and a bit more practice, I'll realize that these forcing moves are the ones to look at. Because we're hitting the queen, we've already taken a piece, and if he takes back, well, we take here too, and life is all good. After take, we can save this bishop in whatever way we please. We could have even inserted a check there first. Regardless, that's it for this session. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again for another tactics session very soon.